Today we're playing the fan favorite Black Ops 3 map, Eisendrache. We're gonna go over power, pack-a-punch, all 4 of the wonder weapons, and even some high round strategies. Let's get started. And of course, I do have to mention every time I play this map, I say it, Eisendrache. And that's because that's how Dempsey says it in the official trailer. Eisendrache. But anyway, once we're in here, you can admire the really beautiful village down here with the giant Origins robot just sitting in the background. It is awesome. However, we are introduced to our first map-specific mechanic here, the tram. This tram works. It has that special power-up right there. It's a tram control thing, and you can use it to come right here and call the tram back up, and up comes this tram, and as you're gonna see, there is a double points. Hey, look at that. That will give you a random drop, which is pretty useful, especially here. This is the first round of the match. We get some double points, which is awesome. Additionally, there are some fast travel systems called Wunderspheres, I believe, but you have to enable these landing pads. So I will be doing that throughout the setup process. Now I am gonna pick up the RK5 because I haven't done the super Easter egg yet. However, for the second round right here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go out this right side, and throughout all of these like classic zombie maps, you could say, with the classic point system, classic perk system, all of that sort of good stuff, there usually is a sort of min-maxing involved here, but if you're doing this by yourself at home, please do not try to be super obsessive about when you do things on which round. It really honestly doesn't matter. Coming into this room, however, the reason we want to go on the right side is because of these dragons right here. These dragons are how you unlock the map's wonder weapon. So if you kill a zombie nearby, it will light up and become animated, and every time you kill a zombie near it, it will actually start to eat it. Now, you can't just kill zombies over and over because it won't eat all of them. You actually have to wait until it makes a little bit of a roar after it's done eating the first one. Wait for it. That's the sound effect you're waiting for, and then you can kill another zombie. Once again, you don't need to maximize this as much as I'm doing, but it is a little bit fun to maximize these things. That's kind of what zombies is. Shooting zombies obviously 8 times with the pistol and then meleeing them is awesome. Apparently we were outside of its range there. But during this, we can also look for the very first shield piece. The shield could be right here. I believe it could be right here. And then the final one is just beyond this landing pad right here. It's going to be way on top in this little corner right there. That is the first shield piece. So now we're on round 3. What we can do is with this RK5, we can, oh, I must have hit that one already. You can do a full burst into a zombie and melee them, which is pretty nice for point maximization. Each of these dragons, there's only 3 dragons by the way, but I believe each of them needs around like maybe 5 to 10 zombies to eat before it is finished. Once it is finished, it will do that really cool little animation right there, and oh, we're gonna miss it. It turns to stone and then crumbles just like that. And so now what we could do is we could save our zombies here and keep progressing throughout the map. I like coming up here, continuing on this right side, going through this door right here, all the way through here. Enjoy the beautiful environmental storytelling that's going on. There's actually so many Easter eggs in this room. It's so crazy. And then right there, that's an interesting painting that we'll definitely have to pay attention to. As we get some more points here, we can kind of kill these guys. We need just a couple more. Oh, very good. And then through this gate here, this is where the other side goes. If you go down the left side, it meets up here, but on the end of this very long hallway, we see the power switch right here. We're going to go ahead and turn that bad boy on. We're going to go ahead and lay prone in front of stamina, get that free 100 points, and then out here, this door opened up now that we turned on the power, and we could see, hey, there's a bell, and we can ding it. Now this is the pack-a-punch area. I'm actually not going to teleport these pieces just yet because there are 3 different stations that we're going to teleport these things through, and the last station you teleport is actually where the pack-a-punch arrives. It'll make sense. It'll make sense. Let's start easy here. Coming down here, we have yet another landing pad right here, and we have another instance of a part piece. A part piece could be in here to the shield. Going down here, it could be to the right here, which it seems to be, and I believe it could be over here as well. Moving into this beautiful area. There is another dragon right there, but I like coming down here to the left first. Here you can see the representation of the 3 dragons. We've done one of them. We need to do 2 more. Going all the way down here though, we can go right onto these guys. As you can see, these are little like pressure plates that once you stand on them long enough, they will actually glow. It's kind of hard to see the glow apparently with my graphic settings, but they also play a very distinct little noise here. And then on the 4th and final one, oh, we're gonna actually have to, oh, there you go. It starts low gravity, and right here is another dragon. Now, once we're in low gravity, we have a 3rd part piece that is luckily right there. Now, that part piece, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it could spawn in right up here as well, above this pack-a-punch area. And I believe it could spawn in on one of these walls up here, I think. And then after a while, as you can see, the low gravity wears off. So there's some fun little Easter eggs that involve that low gravity. We are going to use our pistol now since we got that max ammo to kind of point maximize here a little bit, shoot through this entire horde. Again, if you don't feel comfortable having all of these zombies around you, don't feel compelled to do what I'm doing here. Go ahead and use a stronger weapon, buy an SMG off the wall, go to the mystery box, buy a weapon or so, and do this when you feel you're more comfortable. You can wait till you have Jug, you can wait till you have Quick Revive, all this stuff. You don't need to do this right away. And that's our 2nd dragon done and done. Now, the map layout might seem confusing on your first playthrough, but there are a ton of fun little interconnected pieces that will weave you throughout the map. For example, that little well will bring us right back up to the entrance here and right to our 3rd dragon. And because we have all of the buildable parts to the shield, I like building the shield right here for a little bit more protection. I know a lot of this seems, especially with us only being on round 4, I know it can seem pretty slow and maybe a little bit tedious. So if you don't like maximizing all of your zombies and holding on to zombies, don't worry about it. But here we come to the very first dog round here, or max ammo round if you would prefer. I'm actually going to buy this Kuda off the wall here just in case. Actually, no, this is not the dog round. Never mind, I got bamboozled. Still, having a wall weapon, or like I said, a box weapon at round like 5 or so, kind of in these early rounds, would be pretty beneficial. But this dragon should nearly be done by now, hopefully. And there it is, very nice. That's the last dragon done, and that means we can go into here. All 3 of these dragons are done, and what do you know, we have the map's wonder weapon, the Wrath of the Ancients. Now, what's awesome about this is that we can upgrade this 4 different ways. But before we do that, I am going to head on into this teleporter room, and we are going to teleport to the final location of the map. Because down here, we get teleported into this rocket testing facility. We have one final landing pad to get going on here. And then if we go on top of the landing pad itself, we have our 3rd and final pack-a-punch platform. And there are some other fun little Easter eggs around here, but we're gonna wait to do that just yet. If we take that Wundersphere, we land right back into the spawn room right here. So like I said, be sure to activate those platforms. It really helps you out as you're progressing through the map. Speaking of, on top of here, there's actually Quick Revive, which I always like to buy once I get the Wrath of the Ancients, just in case. Now, as far as what bow we're going to upgrade first, well, as weird as it sounds, I think I want to upgrade the Void Bow first. So if we shoot this thing right here with our Wrath of the Ancients, we get one of these bows. So we're gonna bind this to our upgrade quest, and we hear this demon say, "Release me." The reason we're doing the Void Bow first is because it requires you to get a melee kill as well as make some crawlers with your frag grenades, and that's easier to do on the lower round. So we can come on in this room right here. This is on the left side of the map, and as you can see, there is a mysterious glowing purple tile on the ground. So if we kind of damage the zombie a little bit, melee him, he should die relatively soon. Look at that guy. We've got a vase. We're going to interact with the vase, and it's telling us to return that which has scattered. And again, if these zombies are too much for you, please don't be afraid to get to a zombie at the end of the round. But the next step of this quest is we are going to be going through here, and we're going to be finding a bunch of these little skulls to return that which has scattered. Obviously, that first skull's the one down there that we just got. If we head on back up to here, up these stairs on the right in this windowsill, there is another skull. Downstairs in this teleporter room in this sink, there is another skull. Also, if we come down here, if we go into this room, this is actually the Juggernog room right here, and this connects right back to the spawn room, which is really handy. But of course, coming back outside the spawn room right next to Double Tap is another skull. Coming up top here, kind of on the right side, if we go inside of here, inside Samantha's bedroom, we have another skull right there. And then if we go back down to where this dragon was, this door has now opened, which takes us down. Like I said, it's kind of confusing, but it takes us back down into the Undercroft. It's actually really convenient. You are nowhere so far away of anything in this map that you can't get right to it real quick. Did that sentence make any sense? I don't know, but the last skull is going to be down here on the left side, right behind this truck right here. And the last skull should get you that little icon on your screen in the top left. We can head on back here, use this Wundersphere, boom, there you go. And we can head on back into this room and await instructions. This is the broken souls must be sacrificed in my honor. I did progress the round because I wanted some more zombies here, but this is what the dog round looks like here. And obviously it just has dogs, and these dogs are really easy to kill. You don't need to worry about them too much. Even with a really weak SMG here, you can really one-shot them in the head at really all rounds. And after a bit, you should get a max ammo. But now for this step, what I like to do is I like to get a good little group of zombies here. I like to train right outside in this lower courtyard here, just repeatedly going back and forth here, back and forth until we get a nice little group here. I know I don't have Jug yet, which is kind of concerning here, but the shield definitely helps. I've got Quick Revive, which makes me feel a little bit better. But then I'm going to come into this room, I'm going to cook a grenade, and I'm going to throw it at the horde over there. And there you go. We've got all of these crawlers, and we're going to need all of these crawlers because these skulls will actually eat all of these crawlers here. Once the last one is there, we should get a little riddle. Horn, Griffin, Stag. Okay, Horn, Griffin, Stag. Now, this is the cool part about this quest here. We have to translate this. So if we go, oh, by the way, here, this is why we waited. Now the Pack-a-Punch is here because we didn't teleport it from here. Yeah, very good, very good, very good. Horn, Griffin, Stag, though. Horn, Griffin, Stag. Now we need to come into here, and you can see there's little pictures over here. That's our Griffin, Horn, Griffin, Stag. Okay, all right. So now what we've got to do, let's go ahead and go to the next round. We've got Horn, which is going to be these little ribbons, Griffin, which is going to be these little arms or tentacles, and then Stag, which is going to be these triangles. So now we've got to remember ribbon, arms, triangles, ribbon, arm, triangles, ribbon, arm, triangles. And all we have to do now is kill zombies. Look, I know it seems pretty complicated, and I'm not really happy that I chose the Void Bow as the first bow to show you, but it's genuinely one of my favorite bows to get, and it's really not that bad. But as you start killing zombies, you're gonna see some hopefully special drops here. These drops are gonna be the characters that we need to input back into this little room. Dang, I have not seen any. Usually they drop a lot further than this. Oh, there you go. There's one. There's one. There's another little special symbol. And wow, just that one. Okay, that was pretty stingy. I am actually gonna go down and get Jug now. Come on down here to the Undercroft. We'll get Jug, and then not to worry, we can just head right back on up top to where we were by using this little chute. Beautiful. That's another symbol we don't need. How lovely. Ooh, there's ribbons. There's our ribbons. Very good. And that's it. Okay. All right. Well, let me show you what we're eventually going to do is we're going to need to put ribbons, arms, and then triangles into here by shooting it with our bow. And that's going to be, you know, kind of Simon Says-y saying his name back to him, but we need to get those symbols first. Oh, there's triangles. I think we just need our arms now. Oh, almost. That's every symbol except the ones that we need. Oh, there we go. There we go. Sweet. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in here. We're gonna go ribbons. You can see it pop up right there. Arms pop up right there, and then triangle right there. We've translated his name into these symbols. That is his name. Very, very good. And now we get to see this beautiful animation and this amazing little arrow pop up from the ground, right, like so. We can go ahead and interact with this, and then that'll have another cool animation. It'll repair that arrow, and there you go. We've got our reforged arrow, and now we have one final step in this entire process. We need to come back down here and look for the void bow symbol, which I believe this is it right here. We get a max ammo every time we put that in. And now we need to get souls around this box right here in order to charge it, which is the most fun step if you ask me. Max ammo, you've got a fun little bow to do here. It's really great. And hopefully we get this done by round 12 because that's when the Panzer comes in. Oop, I heard it. There it is. It's ready to go. So now what we have to do, this is a little sketchy. You have to give your bow up so that way it can kind of meld the two together. There you go. Look at that animation. It looks so good. And now if we're diligent about it, we could just run right by and boom, look at that. We now have the void bow. But before we use it, I'm going to go ahead and go grab a KRM off the wall. And I would highly advise you that eventually you do the same thing. Here's the KRM. We're going to grab this guy. It's the shotgun here. And then if we go all the way up here, I don't think I've shown you this yet, but if we go up on top of here, this little door that was closed is now open because we turned on the power, and we can come on up to here. And now we have the Pack-a-Punch right here, easily accessible for us. Really nice. And our Pack-a-Punched shotgun is here. Now the void bow will actually work similar to those skulls where you shoot it and it will actually launch a whole bunch of skulls and it will kill a lot of zombies actually here. And it's a pretty decent persistent little feature here. There you go. That killed like most of those zombies there. And if you just let one go, it will kill a zombie. Now, round 12 is a very important round because it's the first Panzer round. So what I like to do, the easiest strategy, the best strategy is to come here towards this death ray, make sure you've got 1,000 points, there's the Panzer, activate the death ray, it will trap him, as well as protect you from all of these different angles, and you could just kill the Panzer just like this, right like that. Very good. Now, the Panzer actually drops something very important, and the death ray drops something very important too. This piece is part of the Ragnarock piece. This is the specialist upgrade here in Black Ops 3 for der Eisendrache, and you will also notice after you activate the death ray once, there will be a piece floating either up there or up there. Now, what you have to do in order to get that piece up there is you have to go all the way over here, down like this, into this Wundersphere here. Go ahead and activate it, and that should be, boop, how you get that piece. Now, if it's in the other side, all you have to do is go to this Wundersphere, and boom, just like that, transports you to the other side if it's like floating up over there. As far as the third piece is concerned, well, we'll take a trip all the way down here. Look at that transition, donuts, you're so smooth. This is the rocket area testing facility. This switch is how we're going to get the third piece of the Ragnarocks. But this might take some time, so of course be patient. We have to wait for a rocket to actually test fire here. And I do like getting down to one zombie here because it can be kind of sketchy. All right, that took a whole lot longer than I thought it was going to be. That was literally like 3 minutes of just waiting here. Once this turns green, we can flip the switch. I like to jump on up here, avoid the zombie that I was avoiding right there. And then hopefully you could just barely get in here. Ooh, boy, that's always sketchy without stamina up here. But then you're going to want to come back into here. We're going to get some electrified zombies. We're going to get some fire zombies here. Hopefully this void bow should last us pretty good. Oh boy, those explosions are crazy. Now this panel is what you're actually looking at right here. It's going to start glowing green here. Once that third bulb is solid green, we're going to turn this handle. Hopefully we can go ahead and do that. Test complete, activate console, and boom, there is our third and final piece for the Ragnarocks. That took way too long. My oh my, let's head on back up here. There is actually a way you can force that to spawn in, or force that rocket to actually test, but didn't think it would take that long, so oh well. Now my favorite place to build it is going to be just on over here. If we land right here, we can go ahead and go into this little thing, and boom, this is my favorite place, favorite buildable bench to build. The Ragnarocks. Now these Ragnarocks work just like they do in multiplayer or Black Ops 4 if you've played it. They actually do a nice little ground smash right here, or if you place them on the ground, they will actually cause a little trap to be right here, and it will suck up all of the zombies, including Panzers. It's actually really cool. They have a little animation too that gets flown up there. Awesome. Just be sure you always pick them up after you put them down. But moving on, we are going to show you yet another bow here, and this is going to be my personal preference for which bow you really should activate first, and it's going to involve these really cool paintings. There are 4 paintings around the map that you're going to need to pay attention to, this being the first one. This is the Wolf King, and they tell a little story here. You will interact with it, this will glow and give you a nice little correct ding sound effect. Then moving on down here, there is another painting right around here somewhere. Yes, that is the 4th painting, so that means the 2nd painting is going to be inside here, just here, going into battle. Remember that Wolf King there going into battle? Also, it had a like wolf next to it, obviously Wolf King with the wolf going into battle. Then moving on into here, we can see they actually lost the battle against the Apothecons right here. Interact with it again, you get that little symbol. And then finally, if we go all the way back over here down to the 4th painting, we should hear a little howl. This is the Wolf King with his servant there, all sad next to him. We hear a little howl in the distance. We go inside here, down here, and just inside these stairs, we should see that little wolf bow symbol. It's gonna pop out with an arrow. And all we need to do, this is actually, in my opinion, it's the simplest and easiest quest out of here. I know people are going to say the storm bow, which we will do. I think this is actually easier. Now, you're going to need to angle it differently for all of the different bows, but you are going to want to shoot that flag way up there. That is the, I believe it's the wolf bow flag up there, but that is going to knock down this skull right here. We're gonna need to take this skull, go all the way back to the castle, head into the Undercroft area, and in this wolf bow spot right here, there is a dog or a wolf with a missing skull that we just got. We're gonna place it back on, and hey, what do you know, a ghost wolf right here. So we need to follow this ghost, and it's gonna go to 3 locations here. It's the same locations, but you can get a different order of every game, so your wolf might not be going exactly where my wolf is. But right here, it's gonna pause here, and it's gonna dig up something here, and then it's gonna become very defensive. It's gonna start barking, and we need to get kills with really anything. It doesn't need to be a bow to get kills with this, but you just need to get kills around this. Obviously, it's a soul box. It takes maybe 20 to 30 souls in order to get this dog to finally be like, all right, you got it. And then what did we dig up? We are digging up. It's hard to see, but it's a skull. It's more bones. It's more bones. Yep, the king's bones. You actually heard Dempsey say it right there. Is this the king's bones? I'm telling you, with all of the different quotes and stuff, with all these different quests, it is just, the story is beautifully integrated into these already awesome side quests. And here is stop number 2. We've got this pile right here. Now, I don't really remember if dogs' souls actually count during this. They might. They do not. Oh well. If that's the case, we can just go ahead and enjoy this max ammo round here. And you know what? I'm actually going to get double tap as well. Now, if you're doing this with the normal bow, have no worries, because the normal bow is very powerful too. All right, that should be number 2 done. Ooh, there's a power-up right there. What power-up? Double points. Oh, awesome. I'll take that. We've got another, ooh, it's like rib cage, very good. Following the dog as best you can. If you ever lose the dog, that's important. If you ever lose the dog, it will despawn, but you could just go right back to the burial site in here that was just inside this Undercroft and respawn the dog. It's fine, you won't lose your progress. But we've come to this 3rd and final spot right here. Ooh, we've got a death machine, very nice. But I think this is getting to be the end of the round right here. Is that enough souls? It's not enough souls. Bummer. Oh, I hear the Panzer. Okay, well, let's see if we can't take care of him with just a normal shotgun here. Oh, and there you go. Yep, not that big of a deal. This KRM is crazy for that Panzer. But as you saw there, I did get shocked by the Panzer. Oh, and that's the last one. That's the last one. Sweet. I did get shocked by the Panzer. It's because the Panzer has those, oh boy. Oh boy. And there is the final one. We could go ahead and do that. Very good. Let's get this. I think our shield just broke. Panzer has things that electrical little shock charges that he'll actually shoot you with. But now, ooh, this is perfect timing. This is perfect timing right here. What you need to do in order to get this, the final step is you need to shoot, I believe it's the actual wolf sign right there. And then you need to float up here. That will actually get a platform there that we can now stand and boom, and replace all of the bones that we just collected, as well as this arrow, and take this reforged arrow. So you can only do it when there's low gravity, which is why you need to turn on the low gravity. And then you can fly on up there after you shoot that little thing right there. Very, very cool. Again, I love the environmental storytelling. I love the story. This whole wolf bow step is just a whole story of his master and his dog, this wolf, going into battle and then losing, and we're digging up his bones and we finally get to put him to rest. It's so beautiful. I love it. There's a reason why this map is a lot of people's favorites here. Oh, and there goes our shield. That's okay. But just like the other bows here, all we need to do with that reforged arrow, put it into here, and then we'll need to collect souls. Not too difficult at all. All right, that sounds like it's that. We can actually, if you have a non-normal bow, if you have an upgraded bow, you can actually just use that, and then we can go ahead and pick this guy up right here. Now, the reason I said that this is my favorite one for new players is because it's basically like a thunder gun with like 40 different shots on it. So if we take a look here, and we pull it back, we can go frunk, and just like that, it kills all of the zombies in front of you. And you know what? While we are here, I am gonna grab myself some stamina. Now, before we get to our next bow, I want to show you this location. It's about round 20. This is my favorite place to train in almost all of zombies. This is where I personally learned how to train zombies. This is a simple, medium to small circle. I absolutely love it. It's so great. And it's a great place to show you what this wolf bow can do. Boom, just like that, kills most of them. Obviously, it's not as powerful as the thunder gun because it had that little bit of zombies right there, not in the line. But still, this is a great panic situation. And as you're training, like in one of these training locations, not only does this area sometimes have pack-a-punch in it, but it's one of the best places to train because it's pretty open. You've got a long way before you see the zombies coming, and you can kind of decide what you want to do. And of course, you have the death rate for those Panzer rounds. It's actually really, really good. Now, when the pack-a-punch isn't here, because the pack-a-punch randomly spawns throughout the rounds, it actually tells you where it's actually at. So now it's at the rocket pad instead of, oh boy, we need a shield, right? It's at the rocket pad, so we can go to the rocket pad if we want to pack-a-punch. But before we do that, I am going to get started on our next bow quest, and this bow quest is the infamous fire bow. That's right, I'm doing the firebow tutorial. So go ahead and shoot that. Oh, and we can bind to this quest right here. I am going to go get ourselves a shield, and I am actually going to show you how to automatically start the rocket test. Now, I've never done this before, but I've heard all we have to do is run over this panel up here once we get 0 gravity. So all we have to do is wait for some 0 gravity. Very, very good. We'll hop on up here. And I believe as you keep wall running, you'll go around here and then, oh, I think I missed it. We'll just hit it right like that. Very good. We'll hit here a little purchase thing. We'll come back down over here, go to the teleporter. Unavailable during a rocket test fire. Dang it. I mean, I guess that's good for co-op. I thought it would give me a little bit of a delay here for solo. What a bummer. What a bummer. But we will actually go ahead and double pack-a-punch this KRM while we're down here. Little advanced tip here. You can actually just go up to the side of it, and it's a little bit easier to put it in for double pack-a-punching. Ooh, fireworks. I'll take fireworks. Why not? Now, if we're talking training spots, this is a pretty decent intermediate training spot. This is one that I really wouldn't recommend if you're new to zombies, but if you're new to DE and you feel comfortable with zombies, this is a pretty darn good one. You can round them all up right here. They're in a really nice, tight little thing, and you, oh man, I thought that would be way better. Come on, fireworks. I thought you'd be better. If you have blast furnace or dead wire, this is actually a pretty fun place to be because you can just continuously kill all of these zombies here. And like I said, you got the wolf bow. You've got like a little mini thunder gun here at all times. If you ever feel uncomfortable, if you feel like you've made a bad decision, you could always just panic your way out of it. And dang, dude, I really thought fireworks would be better with the KRM. For this step, this is probably one of the most finicky steps in all of Der Eisendrache here. So for that reason, you do want to get down to like 1 zombie. All right, blast furnace. I'll take blast furnace here. What we're going to do is after the rocket tests, it is actually going to superheat this rock right here, and we are going to do our best to aim at that rock and then shoot it as soon as we come out. It's a very tiny window of opportunity in order to get this thing done. Additionally, you might not even be able to do this with an upgraded bow. Some steps require a regular bow to do. I guess it is worth noting there are some trip mines on the wall right here if you want to buy them. They're not super useful, but they can be kind of fun. Once again, that took a lot longer than I wanted it to. Man, that's kind of annoying. But you do want to make sure that your zombie stays in here. If the zombie dies out there and the rocket test goes off, you got to start a new round. And then if there's a lot of zombies at the beginning of the next round, it's going to make this step a lot harder to do. That being said, I will kill this zombie as soon as this says rocket test finished, just because I want that little bit of extra time here. All right, test complete. We'll go out here, slide on out here, and boom. And maybe, and we're going to have to wait again, aren't we? Yeah. Well, there you go. Maybe you can't do this with a normal or an upgraded bow. Maybe it has to be normal. But donuts, how do you switch back to a normal bow? Well, it's really simple. All you got to do is put your bow back to where it belongs. You can see there's 2 bows right there. And then head on back up here, and you should be able to get the normal Wrath of the Ancients bow back. Very nice. Fun fact, there's a little trap right here on the door if you didn't know. That's fun to know. And we are back here to train yet again and wait for another launch. All right, take number 2 with a regular bow. We just aim at that. Very nice, very good. That's about where I like to stand, right next to that thing. Got this cool animation. Oh, Panzer. Hi, Panzer. That's all right. You've got a flamethrower. I've got a KRM. But now this step of the firebow is infamous for being really tough because it involves a little bit of skill here. I missed, dang it. I take so much pride in trying to hit that the first time. There are these little fire circles on the ground here that are really kind of difficult to hit. Well, that one's really difficult to hit. The other 2 aren't too bad. You have to use these Wunderspheres. Again, incorporating this map into this wonder weapon. It's beautiful. You just shoot it. You hear a little bit of a kind of ghostly, I don't know, like hush or like some sort of noise cue. But right here, whoop, missed it. There we go, there we go. You can hit it multiple different ways here, and there are a ton of tips and tricks for hitting this, all from like one Wundersphere spot, all this stuff. Really, it's not all that bad. See, there you go, you just hit that one. However, there is one that we can kind of cheese. This one over here, I believe we could cheese it by like shooting something like that, kind of waiting a little bit there. Let's find this exact placement actually here. All right, so supposedly all you've got to do is just walk into this guy, go, oh, sorry, let's get that max ammo here. Look at this guy, aim all the way up, shoot, and then launch yourself. Will that work? I don't know if that hit or not. It looked like it was going to, I'll be honest with you. It did not. All right, one of these little tricks here is to go up to this thing, right? We have this weird little divot right there. We can go ahead and look up into these 2 clouds right here. Supposedly, this is about where we need to shoot. And then do that, and then maybe that'll get it. Hey, that worked! Oh my goodness, glitching queen for the win. Now, as for me, normally, the last couple times I've been doing this, I just do that, and that, ooh, that might have gotten it too. Look at that, Donuts is pretty good at zombies here. So there are a bunch of different things you can look up about how to get these things, but the next step is pretty easy. All you need to do is get like 10 kills when you're standing inside of it, and oh boy, that's not as easy as I thought. Okay, there you go. And I think that's it. Yep, there you go. You've got this really sick animation. Look at that. I'm not gonna lie, this was like my favorite bow step to do. I loved the skill test of all of these different trick shots you had to do mid-air, and this animation is really sick. And to clarify, the zombies do not have to be in this with you. You have to be in this and kill zombies here. So there you go. And there you go. Just like that, that animation is done. Oh boy, oh boy. 3rd one right here should be nice and easy. We'll just get a bunch of these kills like so. And then I think that should be it. There you go. To that amazing sun that just spawned in right there. Oh, it's so cool. So cool. I mean, it's hot because, you know, firebow, but the next thing we need to do now that we've charged all of these different places, we need to head on back up into here, and then we need to interact with this clock, and it's going to spin around here, and it's going to show us a symbol that is kind of useless. Now, I have a tutorial on this. Spinning that clock is going to make one of these or both of these spots disappear and have one remaining. Each of these different circles that we just charged will actually take you to a different fireplace. Again, I'll link you to the actual guide that I have on this thing, but this is going to be the way we go right now. We are going to chain together these little fire charges. Now you'll notice once we stand into these flames here, I'm actually going to try and shoot that right there. Yep. Okay. Now the flame is gone. Where we shot, I believe. Yeah. Okay. All right. I was a little bit off here, but that should be okay. I believe we get 3 chances. I should have aimed a little bit more to the left right there above that doorway, but standing next to this little fire thing here, we can shoot another shot just like that. That will lead us into here, and then we can shoot the fireplace, light it on fire, We'll get a free max ammo. We'll put in our arrow right here. We'll wait for a cool little animation to be done here. Actually, no. After that, we need to head on back up to the really cool sun that we have, because the sun is now lowered onto the map just like that. Isn't this sick? You interact with it. It has this epic animation. Look at that. Boom, explosion. And that is the reforged arrow for the fire bow. Genuinely less confusing than the void bow, but takes a little bit more skill. And honestly, I like that. I think that's my favorite quest to do of these bows. It's the most satisfying to me. And of course, you know the drill. Come on down here, put in the arrow right there, and we need to get some kills. And just like that, oh my goodness, donuts, oh my goodness, donuts. Okay, all right, we have the fire bow, which is kind of not super great, but it's fun. It's a fire bow, right? Like, I mean, it has a volcanic effect to it, to all the zombies that get trapped in it. Doesn't really have an area of effect over time, honestly. It is the weakest bow, I think we can all agree, but it looks pretty darn cool and it is pretty fun to get. That being said, we are immediately gonna put it back and try and get the final bow, everybody's favorite, the storm bow. So we'll pick up this bow right back, head on all the way up to here, and we are going to shoot this little weather thing. It's going to spin, make a cool noise, and then this little broken arrow is going to fall out of there. And now I believe all we need to do is light up some of these pylons just like that. There's one right there. There's one way over there. Now, obviously, this is kind of a skill thing as well. There are certain ways. Oh, we just hit that one. All right. So what I do for this one is I like to be over here, and then I like to pull full like that and then shoot right there. Okay, you're gonna need to leave there, guys. This is easily, in my opinion, the most annoying bow to get upgraded because of what we're experiencing right now. The zombies constantly hitting you is really annoying to me. But there's our third and final one. Obviously, you could just sit here and kind of gauge where that's at. That's the easy part. Ooh, rocket test going, let's go. The next step for this quest, we have to go back up into this area. Now, you'll notice about all of these steps, they all require some sort of interaction with the entire map, which is actually awesome. Now, as you'll see here, there are these panels there that I just ran over on top of this area where we need to wall run. Spinning right over that, we can kind of jump over here, very good. Oh, donuts, don't miss it. Okay, we got that one. Oh, well, we hit the ground. Okay, that's a good example of what happens when you hit the ground. We can hopefully get this guy. I don't think we're gonna get it. We're gonna get this guy. Yeah, we missed it. Bummer. And then we're gonna hit the no gravity here, which is unfortunate. Oh, we'll have to wait for no gravity again. I think I need to start here. This is the easy spot to start because that way you don't miss that guy. You'll notice all of these quests have us venturing over the entire map at least once. That's one of the reasons why I'm biased towards the bows over the staffs, because the staffs in Origins have you going across the map multiple different times, but each of these quests is so tightly connected and so well designed that you're only going throughout the map once, more or less once. All right, we're back in action. We're back. Thankfully, that doesn't take that long. We'll go ahead and come on up over here. Now, there is a zombie that pops out right here. You can go ahead and kill. We'll just hold towards the wall just like this. Keep looking towards the wall. That should be it. We'll get this one, and I think there's one more to go down over here. Very nice, and that should be the last one. Very good. Now, what that is going to do, that's going to activate some urns that we need for the next step. And these urns are now glowing with electricity right here. And these things really only take like 3 zombies, 3 to 5, maybe 3 to 6 zombie kills in order to get really full. Yeah, there you go. That was like 6 zombies right there. So instead of actually staying there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and I'm going to fill up all of these urns first, so that way we can actually do these things in peace. Now, this is going to look very chaotic, but I assure you it's only because we're on round 25 doing this. You don't need to be on round 25 doing this. We got the normal bows on round like 5. So like you really should be doing this on round like maybe 6 or 7. And the final urn is right in here. All right, couple zombies left. This is going to be nice and easy. Okay, we missed the shield. Okay, all right, this is going to be pretty annoying without the shield, but we'll go ahead and charge up our shot here. Now we have an electric shot, and I like to aim kind of at that midpoint right there, just like so, and I missed it. I'll be honest, I might not be the best person to showcase this to you because I know there are a ton of different little tricks to where you can line yourself up with and get it every time, and that's all well and good. But honestly, oh man, we missed again. How do we miss again? It's not that I don't like that sort of stuff. It's just I could never be bothered to do it for some reason. I just didn't like how overhyped the Stormbow was, so I just never really did it. But there you go. That's what one successful thing looks like. Very good. Now it's all electrified. And unfortunately, each of these urns can only light one fire. So for example, I'm going to use this fire to light this urn over here because it's actually a little bit easier to see. I like to go on the top of the mountain right there, follow it all the way down. Boom. Very nice. But that means we can't use that urn anymore. So we have to go back to this urn, which is perfectly fine because we can light this up. There's a little Wundersphere right here. And this one should be the easiest of the bunch. Please don't choke this, donuts. And there you go. Now that's going to make this go all crazy. We've lit it all up. We can go ahead, put our thing in there, our arrow in there. And there it is. After a pretty subtle animation, we have our final arrow. Now we can head on down for the final time. And in the final little pillar here, go ahead, put in this guy right here. We got a max ammo, which is awesome. And we need to get a couple more kills. Again, you really shouldn't be doing all 4 of these bows in one game. They're not really designed around that. So the fact that I'm doing it isn't normal. But you know what? It's pretty darn fun. Just like these Ragnarocks are just incredibly satisfying. So good. And that sounds like that's it. Let's go ahead and give them that. And just like that, we have the Storm Bow. And this bow is, well, it's pretty powerful. It's definitely the best one in the game, unfortunately. It's so overrated. Why am I such a Storm Bow hater? Let's get our shield back here. Now, outside of the bows, there are unfortunately a small number of side quests here. The first of which happening in this building right here. You can see there's this little rocket and this little planet going around here. If you shoot them so that they are in line with each other, you can start a fun little disco party in here. There's some music going on in the background. It's a pretty fun little detail. Oh, the Panzer's back. Okay, Panzer. Oh boy, oh boy. All right, let's go ahead and get that trap going. What you might not be able to see is that Stormbow shot actually captured that Panzer, and that Panzer actually, oh, there you go. There's that electric thing that he shoots at you. That Panzer actually did get taken up by the Stormbow, but it is very limited, and unfortunately all of the bows not very good at killing the Panzer here, which is why we have our KRM here. But as you can see, ooh, it did get lifted up a little bit. Oh boy, standing in that walkway is not a smart idea, donuts, come on. That's why I always like being around here, especially for the higher rounds when the Panzer has a lot more health than it does currently. You always have a safe way of taking care of it. And the Panzer usually does drop a free drop of some sorts. Really nice. Now there are a couple musical Easter eggs here in Eisendrache, the first of which being with this these little, whatever you call these, you'll interact with that guy. You can come back into Sam's room right here and you can interact with that guy. And then down underneath here, we can interact with this guy and we get some classical music to enjoy. I wish I had more information about this musical Easter egg, but I don't. The second musical Easter egg though is going to be very similar. Here's a teddy bear here. Unfortunately, you cannot interact with him until this song is done. Luckily, it's not that long of a song here. You can interact with this guy right now. The second teddy bear is going to be down near Jug in this little cell right here. And the third one, we are going to need to teleport into the rocket testing chamber. And it's actually going to be on in this Jeep here to the right, just like that. And that is going to give us the awesome epic song of Dead Again. Now, as this rock song goes on in the background, there are 3 Panzer Claws that you can shoot down, and then you can shoot and activate, and that will insta-kill a Panzer if it's in its line of sight. The second one is going to be found up here somewhere. Oh, there it is behind the flag. You can shoot it there, shoot it down, and then you can just line up the Panzer right here and it will insta-kill that Panzer. I believe if you successfully do this 3 separate times, you will get a bonus effect. Here's the third one right here. Drop down, line it up, boom, just like that. I believe if you kill a Panzer 3 different times with those things, you will get a Panzer helmet, which I believe protects you from the Panzers or makes you do more damage to the Panzers. I don't know. And for this next Easter egg, you're gonna need in plain sight. Once you pop your in plain sight, you will be able to see these skulls that are hidden. If you shoot the skull with a regular Wrath of the Ancients, you will hear a noise, and there are actually 3 of these, so we will need another in plain sight here, but we'll pop this up. Oh, there you go. You can see it pop into existence just like that. Go ahead, shoot that, and we're gonna need to spin through the gobblegum machine here a couple times. Once you come over here and you pop this in plain sight next to this double tap one here, you should hear something different, and you'll notice something different about the zombies. Specifically that, well, they're not entirely zombies anymore. Oh my goodness, they're skeletons. Look at that. How many of you beautiful people knew about this little Easter egg here under Eisendrache? Now, if you're not the biggest fan of these skeletons, if they're kind of hard to see, honestly. If they blend in a little bit too much, have no worries. There is a way to get them back to zombies. And yes, it's really, really easy. All you need to do is head on back down here, go inside of this main facility area, and interact with this chair right here with the 3 skulls. I am not going to be doing that, however. I like the skeletons. I think they're cool. I will pick up our Stormbow again because I want to get going on some high round strategies. So obviously I showed you the landing pad tight little training spot. I've shown you this little training spot right here. The next training spot that I like, and kind of the last sort of user-friendly training spot, is going to be right here. However, this one can seem a little bit more safe than it actually is. This is going to be a banana loop. You don't want to go all the way around this thing. You want to kind of go back and forth between it. So I like really curving around this edge down here, kind of taking a wide stance going this way. Now you got to be careful as you cross this threshold right here. Some zombies get a little confused and they get stuck, so always be aware of that, especially in Black Ops 3 and, well, really anything that isn't Black Ops 4 before or after. You really want to train with your wonder weapon out here. You can see, they got stuck and they were going back. Their pathing is a little bit weird, but going back and forth into here using your wonder weapon, it should be all good and safe. Especially, don't be afraid. These bows have like 70 bullets, arrows in them. One simple shot should be good to take out a zombie for a decent amount of time. A charged shot is going to be worth 2 arrows, and it's definitely worth killing all of these zombies if you get in a pinch. Now again, this has the added bonus of whenever you do hear the Panzer round coming, the death ray is still right up there. If you want to make the rounds go any faster, you've got this trap right here, which will kill all of the zombies coming through here, which is awesome. It's, again, one of the best training spots to learn training in really all of zombies. It's going to make you deal with certain, like, zombies that are kind of stopping right here. You need to make decisions to either turn back around, to do a little cutback, and it teaches you how to handle stress. Now, if you close this door, if you keep this door closed, it does help a little bit, which is pretty nice, but it's not all that necessary. Moving on, however, I want to start talking about the camping spots, because especially with this Stormbow, camping is pretty huge. And the first camping spot is going to be right up here. However, Donuts ruined it by opening this door. I thought I needed it for the firebow, but if this door is closed, this is actually a really good spot to sit here and shoot this Stormbow down here, and you should be able to kill all of the zombies because they should only be coming through that direction down there. You should be good to shoot the Stormbow here repeatedly and not have any zombie come from behind you. As you can see, it's really chaotic because that door is open. Unfortunate for Donuts, we need to move on to the next one because this one is very similar to the previous one. You want to go through this left side of the map here because this, believe it or not, is the next camping strategy right here. I'm not sure if this is the fastest or if it's just one of the fastest, but I believe you have to go through this direction and leave this door closed over here. And this will, I mean, it does really actually feel pretty fast for zombie spawns down here. But this is kind of like one of the original, well, just shoot the grounds and get to the high round sort of maps there are with these wonder weapons. Just like that, boom, next round. And you'll notice I'm not spending too much time at each of these things because, well, it really is just kind of shoot the ground and you're good. Same thing with this camping spot right here. You could kind of just sit here and then just shoot the ground until all the zombies are dead, and if you ever get in a panic situation in this area, It's really nice because you're in a Wundersphere and you could just Wundersphere away from the danger. But again, this is kind of why people really like DE. Some maps really do, oh, let's go ahead and get out of there. Some maps really do make you do a certain strategy in order to be successful. However, DE, oh yeah, let's pick up our Ragnarocks here. DE allows you to do so many different strategies. For example, if we left this door closed right here, this is the spawn room. This is yet another strategy that people use to get to high rounds. This is an excellent place to be. Lots of different pathways to success here. The reason it's so user-friendly, the reason so many people love it is because success is really given to anybody if they make at least the littlest bit of effort. You know what? Let's go ahead and call our gondola in right here. Let's see if we get anything lucky. Plus, you can also just camp right here too. Do we get a max? Oh, we get a nuke. Okay, bummer. Personally, I prefer training strategies. So the camping strategies never really resonated with me all that much. And here's a fun little trap here that unfortunately the Panzer just deactivated here. Oh boy, there we go. There's the Panzer, there's our max ammo. But as I was saying, I was always somebody who preferred the training element of zombies because it felt so much more skillful and strategic than just camping. Now, I wouldn't recommend training in this area, but it is possible. And it's like some of this stuff right here. I know a lot of people say, oh, donuts, I don't want to run in circles, but the circle is really fun. It's really strategic. I really, really like it. Plus, you get this little trap here. You can kill all the zombies with the trap. It looks great. You can come back out here, go around. The thing about training is that you are constantly, oh, the shield's gone. You're constantly looking at where you're going, where the zombies are. You're calculating, hey, that zombie's coming up. I need to hurry up. Hey, that zombie's taking its time, so I'm going to take my time. Hey, is this enough time that we can kind of shoot the zombies here in this tight little area? Well, absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and do it. And then, ooh, we get a cool little power up here. Let's go ahead and kill all these guys. Training is this continuous puzzle that you're constantly trying to solve all the time. You're looking, it's almost like skiing. I think that's actually a pretty good comparison. I've never really been skiing before, but from what I've heard, instead of like, ooh, see, just like that, I took my time a little bit. I didn't even need to fire that shot there. I would have made it. Instead of looking at the trees and, oh my goodness, don't hit the tree, don't hit the tree, you're looking at the space in between the trees. You're looking at the spaces that you can go, that you will survive. And then let's see if we can't pull a nice little turn around here. Let's do this. Let's go around just like that. Oh, donuts, you're so good. And weave through the trees. Look at that. Not even hit. Not even hit. Training is so fun. You can't convince me otherwise. Now, a lot of people do also say they like training in here. I've never really got it down, but as you saw when we were getting all of these kills in here, it's not bad. It's really not that bad if you can train in here. Let's actually, in fact, do the wolf bow here. I always thought like the low gravity was kind of weird, made the zombies speed a little bit odd, but it's definitely possible, definitely easier than the training spot we were just at before. But man, oh man, Der Eisendrache, one of the best maps of all time. I wish it had more side quests. I wish it had more things to do. We're actually going to go ahead and interact with that guy, kind of show you what it's like to deactivate this thing. What it does have is really darn fun. The Ragnarocks, all of the different bows, the skeleton thing. It's got crazy amounts of camping spots and training spots, as you've seen. If you are thinking about joining the round-based zombie fandom, and if you're curious as to why Der Eisendrache is so beloved, hopefully this video taught you something. This is definitely a map worth playing. I think the Smith Plays said it best. Der Eisendrache doesn't do anything the best, but it does everything pretty darn good. And if you are on your Black Ops 3 journey and you are so excited and you want even more walkthroughs and ultimate guides of these maps, be sure to check out this video and stay beautiful.